Imagine a processor so massive it performs trillions of operations every single second. A system that renders the visual reality of every cell in our bodies, every star in the sky, and every thought in our minds in mere milliseconds. Today, one of the most provocative theories in science, simulation theory, tells us exactly this. The reality you live in is not as solid as you think. You are a consciousness navigating a stream of code. Now, let's turn back the clock. Let's journey 800 years into the heart of Anatolia, to the city of Konya. There a dervish whispers these words onto his parchment. This world is a dream. He who dreams in this world thinks he is awake, yet he is in a dream within a dream. Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi and modern digital physics. One calls it divine love, the other calls it the mainframe. One speaks of al-Mithal, the other simulation. Today we are exploring the chilling parallels between the codes of the Matrix and the verses of the Masnavi. If you're ready, it's time to wake up. Modern simulation theorists argue that the universe isn't fundamentally made of atoms, but of information, of pure data. In other words, what we call matter is simply the visual output of software running on a cosmic screen. Now consider Rumi's famous lantern metaphor. You place a candle inside a lantern. The parchment surrounding it has figures drawn on it. As the lantern spins, those figures appear to move across the wall. A child watching from the outside thinks the figures are alive, running and dancing. But in reality, it's not the figures that move. It's the single light within the lantern that projects them. Rumi was trying to tell us this. These mountains you see, these seas you admire, even the body you inhabit while watching this very video, they are nothing more than shadows on that lantern wall. If the inner light, what he called the nur, goes out, the simulation freezes and vanishes instantly. The entire show stops. When respected professors like Nick Bostrom from Oxford say, if we have enough processing power, we can simulate the lives of our ancestors in high fidelity. They are simply redefining what Rumi called the curtain of imagination 800 years ago, but using technical language. Think about it this way. When you go to the cinema, you perceive the movie as continuous, fluid motion, but what you are actually seeing are frozen photographs, still images, flowing at a rate of 24 frames per second. Your eye simply cannot perceive the gaps in between. It fills them in. In Islamic metaphysics, this exact concept is called Tajaddud-i Amthal, the renewal of likenesses. According to the school of thought of Rumi and the great mystic Ibn Arabi, the entire universe is destroyed every single moment and recreated in the next. The Creator updates the world every instant with a brand new manifestation, a new creation. If the processor of this simulation, this existence, refreshes the frame a septillion times per second, we perceive the world as stable and solid. We don't see the flicker. Rumi says in the Masnavi, the river water is renewed every moment, yet you think the foam on top remains the same. This is the refresh rate of the digital world. We are all frames within that infinite speed of creation. The speed is so impossibly high that we never see the seams of the simulation, at least not until a glitch occurs, what some might call a miracle, a moment of synchronicity, or a profound spiritual experience that defies the laws of physics as we know them. In simulation theory, there is a base reality, the fundamental level of existence, and then there is our simulated reality. In Sufism, the equivalents are alam al-arwah, the realm of souls, and alam al-shahada, the witnessed world, which is our physical reality. But there's a fascinating place in between, alam al-Mithal, the Imaginal Realm. This place is like the buffer zone of the simulation. It's the sandbox where dreams, visions, and spiritual insights manifest. It's where data is processed before it's rendered. Just as an AI like ChatGPT processes mountains of data to generate an image of something that doesn't physically exist, what developers sometimes call a hallucination, Rumi sees our entire world as a copy and image of the ultimate reality. A beautiful, complex hallucination derived from a higher truth. Imagine you are inside a video game. Your character gets hungry, thirsty, fights monsters, and falls in love. For your character, that world is intensely real. The stakes are high. But you, As the player holding the controller, sitting behind the screen, know it is just software. You know it's all code. Rumi sees a human being as both that character and that player simultaneously. While your body is trapped inside the game, inside the simulation, your soul, your consciousness, is connected to the admin panel. It has a direct link to the divine source, the programmer. So the ultimate question is there an exit from this simulation? In the Matrix, Neo wakes up by taking the red pill. Rumi's red pill is love and nothingness. His famous saying, "Die before you die," is not a morbid call to suicide. It is a profound call to awaken while you are still alive. It means to shed the ego, the programmed identity, before your physical body expires. If you can truly realize deep within your being that this world is a simulation, a grand game, a temporary diversion, then the rules of the system no longer bind you in the same way. Fear, greed, anger, jealousy. These are all just lines of code within the game's software, designed to create challenge and drama. Rumi says, when the cage is broken, you realize the bird did not die. It became free. The cage is the body and the ego. The bird is your true consciousness. While modern simulation theory tells us that one day we might be unplugged, Rumi teaches us to connect to the source before the plug is pulled. This is about hacking the system from the inside. It's about reaching the programmer not through technology, but through your heart, your deepest, most intuitive data center. Whether we speak with the language of 21st century digital physics or the mystical language of a 13th century poet, the conclusion is strikingly similar. We are not just this body. This universe we see in all its vastness is merely a small projection of a much larger, much deeper reality. So what is the purpose of this grand simulation? Why run the program at all? Perhaps it is simply to experience. As Rumi said, we came here to discover a hidden treasure, and perhaps that treasure is the ability to look into each other's eyes within this massive digital or spiritual construct and say, "You are me, and I am you," to find the one light of the lantern shining through all the different shadows. Remember, one day the screen will go dark, the codes will stop running, and the final curtain will fall. When that day comes, the only thing you will have left is how much you were able to love within this magnificent, fleeting dream. Now tell me, after hearing all this, do you still feel like you're made of just flesh and bone? Or are you the reflection of an infinite light? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts on this digital journey in the comments below. See you at the next awakening.